Hello, hello, yogis. Welcome to the Friday Empower Yin Yoga class. It's wonderful to have you here. My name is Jill Enticknap, the lead trainer and founder of Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. So for our yin practice, we slow down and we get present. And we use the breath to help us to draw our awareness into the present moment. We use the sensations that we create in the body to help us connect to our body and to our breath and to our mind and to the present moment. So if you're ever feeling like your mind is busy, that you're too far in the past or too far in the future, yin yoga is a great practice for you. I'm super happy to have you here. We'll start today's practice in an easy seat, cross-legged. Flip your palms palm facing down, ground down into your sit bones, and get nice and tall through the crown of your head as you close down your eyes. See if there's anywhere that you can let go in this posture. Maybe you're holding tension through the thighs. See if you can let that relax. See if you can release tension from the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Notice if you're holding on in the jaw or in the face, and allow yourself to relax as much as possible into this opening, grounding posture. As we come here, let's start to become aware of our breath. Feeling your inhale expand and your exhale release. Feeling into that natural rise and fall within your body. See if you can start to send the breath deeper into the belly, expanding through the abdomen, then expanding the lungs and fully expanding and pausing at the top. Then open mouth exhale, breathe it out and feel into that release. Big breath in, feel the body expand. Open mouth exhale, feel it release. Big breath in, feel it expand. Open mouth exhale, feel it release. Let's activate and practice our Ujjayi breath today. Inhales and exhales through the nose. You can gently press the tongue against the roof of the mouth to create some restriction in the back of the throat. A couple things I love about the Ujjayi breath is that it helps us to expand our lung capacity and deepen our breath awareness. Tap into that sound in the back of the throat. Know that once you connect to the breath, you can let the tongue relax. Stay connected to the breath and allow the breath to anchor you in to the here and now. Settling the mind into the breath awareness. Settling the mind into the body. Maybe you connect to the sensations of the connection points between the body and the space beneath you. Start to notice if your breath starts to expand with your awareness. Flutter your eyes open and let's shift into our first posture. So we're going to come onto our knees. And if you have sensitive knees, one thing that you can always do is roll up your mat. Roll up your mat to create some extra cushion underneath the knees. Let the tops of the feet rest into the mat as you start to walk your hands forward, letting your forehead rest down in your puppy pose. It might start with the elbows slightly wide, fingertips reaching forward, or maybe extend the fingers forward and sink the chest a little bit more to the floor. Come back to your breath awareness. Maybe you even tuck the chin slightly to the chest, creating a little bit more restriction through the back of the throat. Our yin practice is best practiced in room temperature, with the body being not warmed up. This is how we create benefits in our connective tissues, our joints, our ligaments, our tendons, and our fascia. Know that if you have tension in your body, that some of these postures might feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially if you have habitual body patterns, body movements, body positions. So if you're feeling tension through your chest and shoulders, just know that that's part of the purpose. That's part of the reason that we're here, to work through that tension, to breathe through that tension, and to really get present to that tension. With each exhale, maybe you can notice the chest sink. Maybe you can notice the shift in sensation through the chest and shoulders. It's said that the chest is one of the tightest parts of our body due to our modern lifestyle. And again, that's what makes this practice and this pose so beneficial and important. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Start to walk your hands back towards your body, coming into a tabletop position, stacking shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Let's inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze into our cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, head hangs heavy, press through the palms, tuck the belly button to the spine, cat pose. Inhale back into your cow, arching the spine, lifting the gaze. Exhale into your cat, rounding the spine, head hangs heavy. Take 3 more of these transitions, linking your breath to your movement. One more, inhale into your cow. And exhale into your cat. Come back to neutral. Inhale your right hand high, open through your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, thread the needle. Right hand reaches underneath the left hand reaches forward, right ear, right temple rests down. Come back to your breath here. See if you can sink a little bit more into that right shoulder, sinking it into the floor. This twist creates space between the shoulder blades. Again, this tends to be quite a tight area in the body. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Bring that left hand back underneath the shoulder. Right hand unravels. Reach it up, stack your shoulders, feel into that release. And let's take that right hand and sweep it underneath the body, reaching toward the ceiling. And then inhale back up. Exhale, sweep that hand underneath. Inhale back up. One more in. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Inhale back up. Release that right hand down, and we'll switch to the opposite side. Inhale your left hand high, open through your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand comes underneath the right, right hand comes forward, left ear, left temple, rest down. Let's come back to those deep breaths. See if you can sink a little bit more into the left shoulder. Maybe you can sink the armpit a little bit more toward the floor on that right side. Come back to your breath awareness. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Breathe into the space in the upper back. Right hand comes back underneath the shoulder, left hand unravels. Reach it up, stack your shoulders, lift your gaze, and then let's sweep that left hand underneath, reach for the ceiling. Inhale back up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale back up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale back up. Exhale that hand down, come back to neutral. And let's take 3 more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale as you arch and lift. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you arch and lift. Exhale as you round. One more. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round. Pause in this rounded position. Sink the hips slightly back to the heels. Feel that length through the spine. Feel that length through the shoulders. Come back to neutral. Let's draw the toes together and bring the knees wider toward the edges of the mat as we sink the hips back, reach the fingers forward, settling into our child's pose. Letting the chest sink down, starting to open up a little bit more through the hips. Sink the hips back, lengthen the crown forward, spread the fingers out wide. Something that I love about yin yoga is how it creates the time and the space in our practice for physical variation between students. So just know and trust that your body is doing exactly what it's meant to be doing. Center your mind on your breath and allow yourself to be in the here and now. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 2 more. Big breath in. Full breath out. Big breath in. Full breath out. Press yourself back up into your tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, knees underneath the hips. Extend your right leg out long. Take a moment, roll out your ankle, point and flex your foot. Release the right knee down, left knee extends. Flex the foot, roll out the ankle. Release that knee down. Let's take our right foot, step it forward between the hands, coming into a low lunge. If you have your blocks handy, you can always have your blocks down by your side as you come into your low lunge. If you don't have blocks, that's totally okay. Just find that low lunge in your body. Let's bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Heel toe the right foot toward the right edge of the mat and bring the right hand to the inside edge of that right foot. If that's not accessible, find a low lunge that is accessible in your body. And again, trust that it's totally okay wherever you are. This is called lizard pose. For our lizard, you can stay lifted. You can grab your block and come down onto your forearms, onto that block, or you can come all the way down to the floor with the forearms, or you can stay lifted. So find what feels right for you. And then another option is to roll onto the outside edge of the right foot, drawing the right knee out to the right. Finding sensation in your body and allowing yourself to get still in that sensation. Creating the space and the time to trust in your body and to focus and slow down the mind. Bring the hands back to the floor if they aren't already. Heel toe that right foot back through center. Let's straighten out through the front leg, flex the toes to the face, sink the hips back. Now you can either keep the torso parallel to the floor or draw the forehead toward the shin. You decide what feels right for you. Know that it's absolutely okay if there's a bend in that knee. Now, just like the chest is said to be one of the 2 tightest places, the second is the hamstrings. I say that just to reassure you that if you are feeling a lot of sensation through the back line of the leg, that is part of the reason that we're here. Let's sink forward into the front foot and then take that right leg, send it back out behind you, press through your heel. Roll the hip down, squaring the hips, and draw the lifted toes toward the center line of the body. And we'll just hold here in engagement for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that right knee come down. Ground down into the right knee. Make sure it's nice and planted. And then step the left foot forward between the knees. Sink forward into that lunge. Maybe you want to come up. Maybe you want to keep your hands down. Just find that lunge in your body. Ideally, you have your knee stacked over your ankle. So you're not coming too much forward. You're also not coming too far back. You're finding that, for now, compression through the left hip flexors. Let's let the hands come down. Heel toe the left foot toward the left side of the mat. Bring that left hand to the inside edge of that left foot. Now, the 3 options here is to stay lifted, bring the block underneath the forearms and come down to the forearms onto the block, or come all the way down to the forearms to the floor, whatever feels right for you. And then that next option is to roll onto the outside edge of the left foot, drawing the left knee out. Come back to your breath. Allow yourself to find the pose and find some stillness. Bring in that breath awareness. Inhales and exhales through the nose. You can create that restriction in the back of your throat if that helps you to stay focused. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here. Press your hands into the mat. Heel toe the left foot back through center. Sink the hips back, straightening out as much as you can through that front leg. You can keep your torso parallel to the floor or draw your forehead toward your shin. Find which option feels right for you. There can be as much of a bend in that knee as you need in your body. Know that that's totally okay. And reassure yourself that in your yoga practice, how your body feels is more important than how it looks. So you're looking to feel and connect to sensation in the body. I think that this is something that makes a home practice just so beneficial, is that you're not looking around the room to see what other people are doing. You're really able to feel into your body. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here. And let's sink forward into that front foot and then send the left foot straight back out behind you. Set yourself up in that 3-legged tabletop. Press through. Keep the hips nice and square to the floor, and maybe even dial the toes into the center line of the body. And we'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that knee gently come down and take a moment shifting the hips from side to side. Come through center. If you did roll up your mat, unroll that mat, bring it back down onto the floor. And then let's finish out today's practice. Rather than on our backs, let's finish on our stomachs. Stack your palms on top of one another and let your forehead rest down into your palm. Your elbows are out wide. As you come into this very grounding pose, closing down your eyes, once again, bring in that breath awareness. Activate your Ujjayi breath and see if you can press the mat away on the inhale and allow the body to fully release and surrender on the exhale. Inhale, feel that expansion, press the mat away. And exhale, feel into that release and sinking into the floor. Continue with that awareness for as many rounds of breath as you can. Consciously drawing the mind back to the breath when it wanders. Let's bring the right temple down on top of the hands, gazing toward the left. Come back to your breath awareness. See if you can feel the breath between the shoulder blades in the upper back. Let's switch to the left temple down, gazing to the right. Few more deep breaths here. Let's bring the head back through center. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Start to press the mat away. As you press yourself up, sink the hips back momentarily. And let's meet back in our easy seat where we began our practice. Ground down into your sit bones. Get nice and tall through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Let's press our palms together and tuck our chin to the chest. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Feel into that restriction in the back of the throat with the chin tucked. Let's take a moment to acknowledge ourselves for showing up on our mats, for creating the time and the space for ourselves to connect to the physical sensations, to the mind and the thoughts, to the feelings that are connected to both of those, but also acknowledge ourselves for connecting to the present moment. I believe that when we connect more deeply to the present moment, we are able to experience more peace in our lives. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. It's always my honor to share this practice with others. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. Know that you can come back to this practice as often as you'd like. Yin can be done every day, especially in these small amounts of time. If you enjoyed this, be sure to favorite it, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to comment. I love to hear from students from all over the world. That is the beauty of this online space, is we have the ability and the opportunity to connect from anywhere. I'd love to hear from you. Until we meet again, may your light be your guide. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Sending love and light your way.